Track 1, Chapter 1, Body, Too Many Bodies, a Tom Walker mystery. Characters: Jane Calthrop, John's first wife; John Calthrop, investment banker; Alex Churchill, Kevin's brother; Kevin Churchill, fake Brian Fellows, an agent for the replacements of the dead actor victims; Kevin Churchill's ex-wife, heir and victim; Bill Clayton, Calthrop neighbor and handyman; Marilyn Cunningham, the real Fellow's companion on shipboard; George Decker, TV and film producer and owner; Brian Fellows, victim and land heir; Brad Jones, Tammy's father and handyman; Tammy Jones, train woman and blackmailer; Jack Metcalf, Jane's second husband; Tom Walker, detective. Places: Harvey, North Dakota; Los Angeles; Miami and the Carnival Cruise; Newport, Vermont; Marlborough Street, Boston; and Pittsford, New York. Chapter 1. If nothing else can be true, what is left must be. Too many bodies had turned up in George Decker's business. As a TV and film producer, he routinely dealt with young people who had long life expectancies. George's success related to back-of-the-envelope thinking. If the math didn't make sense that way, the deal wasn't good enough to do, in his opinion. If deals were close, they were almost either pure losers or middle-of-the-road ones that absorbed his time. He thought this was the difficulty with most MBA educations. They emphasized fine-line calculations versus patiently seeking more obvious and safer opportunities. In that light, George had a problem. 5 of his key people had died in the last 2 years, far beyond any actuarial numbers. Perhaps 1 or more could have done so in a single accident, but these were 5 separate reputed accidents. This was also strongly against trend. He hadn't had such an accidental death in the previous 10 years or so. That seemed conclusive enough to him that something odd and ominous was afoot. George had learned his first loss was his best one. This was 5 losses over 2 years, so he figured he had better learn what was going on and fix it now. In fact, he mused, he was slowing down and should have done so after the second death. He was intrigued by people and companies who similarly identified losing people, facilities, and organizations and dealt with them promptly. In Simply's audiobook business startup, he had listened to how Eastman Kodak, in its great years, simply closed factories and eliminated people that were troublesome. As Eastman himself had said long before, some things don't work out. Better to stop, close it, and move on. Figuring it out can wait. First, dump the problem immediately. Paying the disaffected generously is usually the right thing to do. Just pay and move on. Analysis takes time. Do so after you stopped the activity. George had read Robert Townsend's book, Up the Organization, and listened to his audiobooks that pointed out that some employees just become ineffective. He called them sick employees. When confronted with such, Townsend said, "You have to separate them out so they don't harm the good people. It is worth overpaying severance to do so, now as in this very minute of this very hour." On the positive side, George's favorite saying was quoted in crucial conversations from Simply. "Never worry about opportunities, worry about recognizing them," said by Joe Wilson, the legendary founder of Xerox. In fact, Wilson said his purpose in running his father's business, Haloid, was to recognize a group.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?